Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, last part I told something like this, right? So I given an IP addresses, and I said I assigned these IP addresses to a devices, and then when I take 5 devices and I assign IP addresses to each device like this. Now what happened? So this is a class B IP address, and of course class B means first 2 octets must be same, because first 2 octets are a network portion. So PC1, PC2, PC3, the first 2 octets are same, but PC4, the third octet is little different, so then PC4 cannot communicate to PC1, PC2 and PC3 also. In PC5, the first octet is different from the PC1, PC2, PC3, of course for PC4 also. So it cannot communicate with those devices. What to do? Already configured. Just I configured for 5 devices like this. And you found 2 PCs are not communicate. PC4 and PC5 is unable to communicate. You check the IP address, right? Normally we check the cable connectivity, connection is there. So initially, as per OSI layer, physical layer connectivity is there. The second one is IP address. Guys, in troubleshooting, first connectivity, second one is IP address. So you check the IP address, you found in PC4, in the second octet is different, in PC5, first octet is different from rest of the networks, rest of the devices. What you will do it? Anyone guess answer? No problem, right or wrong? You entered IP address wrongly. Now you realized what to do. Anything.
We can change it because IP address is changeable.
IP address can be changeable. Simply go to the devices and what are the mistake is there and keep changing. And also check host portions should not be same. Check the host portions and should not be same. Okay, it no problem. This is 2423, no problem. 2422, 2426, 2425, 2534, both on no problem. In case, for example, here I have a 2425. This IP and this IP is completely same, so conflict may generated. So what I have to do? We have to check the. So IP address can be changeable, and we found that there is a mistake. We can simply change it back as per our network and make sure that conflict should not be generated also. Very good, very good. That is the correct answer. Okay, next. Guys, we discussed about a network portion and host portion, identification of an IP address, what is their network portion also. Guys, you learn like this slowly also. So in future, in future you want to go through networking field, like a CCNA, CCNP, you want to learn, you are a server related, in the server mainly networking related. Cloud, in a cloud also networking related. It will become more easier for you. Okay, so because network is a beautiful subject, it is. Okay, understand each kind of stuff. It's very simple and a very beautiful subject it is. So that's the point I am just telling. This much time have taken for each point. Okay, so how system can divide network and host portions. Guys, we understand by looking at an IP address, we understand what is the class of IP address, and we are telling by default this is the network portion and this is the host portion. But how system will define what is the network portion and host portion? Okay. How system find what is the network ID? How system will find what is the network ID? Okay. So system uses subnet mask. System uses subnet mask. There is a default subnet mask, which we can also change the subnet mask in case of you want to define different network. Okay, different logical network you want to define differently. So then we can change the subnet mask. Otherwise, we use default subnet mask only. Subnet mask divide IP address into network and host portions, or we can say segregate or separate. We can use any words, guys, which is more easy or smoother. We can use it. Divide an IP address or segregate an IP address, separate an IP address, okay, into network and host portions. Subnet mask tells what is your IP address. Sorry, subnet mask tells network ID of your IP address. Subnet mask uses AND gate. Logical gate it is, AND gate operation to divide a network into, divide an IP address into network and host portions. Okay, so simple to remember, where the network portion is there, there is a 255. So class A default subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. Class B network portion and host portion. First two are network, next two are host portions, right? So it is a default subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. Class C 255.255.255.0 because of three network portion and last one is host portion. Okay, so what is this actually subnet mask, guys? Subnet mask contains only ones and zeros in the binary, of course, but in a line by line. Not like a 1010 kind of stuff won't be there. 1111 will be like that. So why? Because it is to divide a network and host, how to define easily. So much of story is there. No problem. So what is this AND gate game? So that is first we should understand, then we'll understand what is this 255, why we are using like that. So if you give an input 0, okay, if you given your A input, B input, so it's a 0 0. AND gateway between this 0 0 is 0 only, or 0 1 in between 0 1 output is 0, 1 0 output is 1, 1 1 output is, sorry, this is also 0, sorry, both inputs are high, output is high, or both inputs are true, output is true, both inputs are 1, output is 1. So that is a AND gate. Any input is low, output is low, both inputs are low, output is low. Okay, so this is the AND gate. You take a number, for example, 1 0 1 1, 1 1 0 1. Okay, so if you do AND gate 1 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 0, 1 1 again 1. So this is the AND gate output. So this is an input and second one is an input. First one is input, both are inputs only. One input, another input, but output is 1 0 0 1. We got it as per this. Okay. So in subnet mask, so you write a subnet mask into the binary. The ones in the subnet mask represent network bit, zeros in the subnet mask represent host bits. So you write a 255, it means 8 ones. You write a 0 in subnet mask means binary 8 zeros. Okay, so this is a guys. This is an IP address, and this is the default subnet mask. Default subnet mask. So when you convert into binary, this is how it is look like. And this is our subnet mask in the binary. So here you have to do things. 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 again 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and 0 0 0. Okay, here also same thing 0 1 0 1 0 1 is 0 1 1 is 1. Here all are zeros. It is a 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 zeros. 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So this is 0. This is already 0. This is 16. This is 172. This is the network ID of this particular IP address based on this network, subnet mask. Subnet mask changes, network also changes. So in the subnet mask, these ones, see, ones are from this side to this side. Ones are continuous like this up to here, and from here zeros. Not a 0101 concept. Okay, so you can see it is having 010101 1011 something in the IP address, but in subnet mask you see all are ones. So each bit represent a network bit here. So it is telling this is a network, this is network, this is network, this is network, this is network. So this part is network part because these many ones, and this part is host part because of zeros in the subnet mask. Okay, so this is our subnet mask, guys. Again, what is a subnet mask? We divide a network into or separate a network into host and network version. It will tell you what is your network ID. By default, the default subnet mask is 255.0.0.0 for class A. For class B, 255.255.0.0. For class C, 255.255.255.0. Okay. If you change subnet mask network also changes. Means the network portion or network ID also changes. Network ID, network portion. Changes. Network ID composition can be changes. Okay. There is one method is there, guys. Then also what is submitting? CIDR method means classless inter-domain routing. Classless inter-domain routing. Okay, classless inter-domain routing. What is this CIDR method? It is also called as a slash notation. It represents subnet mask as slash notation. Represent subnet mask as a slash notation. Represent subnet mask as a slash notation. Also called prefix. Prefix. Also called, hey, where is this D button? Also called as prefix. So don't worry what it is, guys. For example, if you see this IP address 172.16.11.24, right? So this is 170.16.11.24 IP address. What is the subnet mask? So 255.25.0.0. The same one I can tell like this. Same IP address I am writing like this. Okay. So this is called a CIDR method. It represents /16 is a prefix. Okay. Look at here, /n means n means number of ones in subnet mask. Okay. For example, /16. So it means number of ones are 16 in the subnet mask. The remaining is zeros in the subnet. So what is this? 255. So guys understand? So you take /8. 8 means 8 ones. remaining are zeros because host bits. Network bits are 8. 8 means network bits are 8. Remaining are host bits. And always ones from left to right, guys. Left to right. Extreme left to right. You have to write. So it is 255. 255. Oh, sorry. 0.0. Already I write in a 16, right? So like this, but I am writing 16. I'm writing class A default subnet mask like this represent /8. 255.255.0.0 is nothing but a 16. So if you write that in a binary, then count the number. /16 means 16 ones. 255.255.255.0. 24 ones. Convert it and check it. Okay. 255.255.255.192. What it is? /26. How? Convert first 255 8 bit. Next to 255 8 bit. So 16 completed. Next 255 another 8 bit. It is 24 completed. So completed now. So 24 ones are completed. Now 2 more ones are there like this. So 11000000 represent 192. That's what I written. Okay. So this is one binary and the slash notation and number. This is another example for a binary and slash notation. Okay, guys. So you can tell, like in a some system, guys, like you go to Linux. Okay, in Linux, you want to assign an IP address. It won't ask you a subnet mask. It will ask you assign a prefix /24 /60 /8. You have to tell an IP address in the form of prefix. Some routing protocols time, or like in some 10 configurations, you have to tell in the CIDR method called slash notation method. So when you see a IP address, so compulsory it's a subnet mask must be there. Of course, the subnet mask either it is represented in a direct numbers like a 255.255.0.0 kind of stuff, or it simply represent with a /16. If you see other than /8 or /16 or /24, it is a changed subnet mask. Subnet mask is different from default subnet mask. Guys, understand this part?
Yes, sir.
So concept is subnetting. So if you see here, subnet mask is different than a default subnet mask. Why there should be a different subnet mask? So good concept is subnetting. Subnetting means subnetting is divide a large network into small subnetworks. Divide a large network into small subnetworks. Small subnetwork. So if you divide of networks increases means one network is divided into multiple networks. Multiple subnetworks. So number of subnetworks increases number of hosts per subnet increases. Number of hosts per subnetwork decreases, guys. Means your network size increases, host size decreases. So you are dividing a network into multiple networks, means automatically the number of networks increases. You don't have a space. You are complete everything in network and host combinedly 32-bit. Network and host in the 32-bit only. IPv4 is 32-bit. So somewhere, okay. So if network side increases, host side decreases. Host side increases, network side decreases. Okay. So here in the subnetting, generally we are doing is we increase the network size, means the host size is reduces. What is the use? I will tell. Divide a large network into the small or multiple subnetworks. Okay. To divide network based on number of hosts subnet or number of required. Change the subnet. Look at here, guys. Simple 190.16.12.10. 255.255.0.0. What is the network ID? 172.16.12. Sorry. 0.0 is my network ID. In case I change my what is the network ID is 172.16.12.0. Okay, try to convert into everything. Okay, if you have a doubt in it, nothing is there. Okay, so you have a doubt, network ID calculator. Usually subnet mask calculator is there. Okay, subnet mask calculators are there. So you take I said 172.16.12.13, and here it is. I use 255.255 like this. Calculate. See this? host range is changed. Network ID is this one. Broadcast ID. This is the host range. Okay. In case I am using a default one, /16, this one, same IP. Calculate. What is the network ID and host range? Different. Number of hosts per network is 65,536. Usable is 34. Subnet mask, wildcard mask, so many other things. Okay, so I am again changing. See, number of hosts are reduced because of subnet mask is changed. What is the use, guys? In a public network, when you are communicate in the public, in organization wise, you have to buy IP addresses. These are private IP addresses, no problem. But in a public communication, so you have to buy an IP address. So it will save you from other things. Okay? I don't know what I am teaching. What are you listening also? Really, it is a 5 minutes topic. I am taking a 1 hour topic. Okay. Literally, where I miss, nothing I miss. Yeah, last 2 points I will tell, guys. Leave it. I said 2 things. One is here we need this subnetting mainly. Okay, divide your large network into smaller networks. Means multiple networks we are dividing, and number of hosts per network will be reduces. So what is the use when you are buying a network? So when you are purchasing a network IP address, public IP address, so you can no need to buy a very big network. So here you need a 50 public IP addresses. 50 means you have to go for a class C. One class C IP address. Class C gives 254 IP address. So you are getting 254 IP addresses, very good. And you need a 50 IP address. What about remaining 204 IP address? You are paying for what you are not using. Okay, you are using or not using, still you have to pay. And also IP addresses are limited. If you are buying and you are not using, it is also not good for a IT internet society, right? So what you have to do? So better to do subnet. Yeah, so I said private IP. Yes, understanding or at least some interact, some sound. I thought I am disconnected. I'll give some information and leave. It is a better option for today. Okay, guys. So IANA and ICANN is given a certain private IP address ranges. So any person or any organization can use within their organization. Private IP addresses can use by any person or any organization within any person or any organization or any organization or means person or a home all home kind of stuff, small office, home office, any organization within there. Private network. Exactly say LAN. In your LAN, you can use it. No need to pay for a private IP addresses. No need to pay for private IP address. To communicate in public, or we can say internet, we need public IP address. Okay, so what are the IP addresses or suggestion to use? The complete range I'm writing, guys. I'm writing complete range. Of course, you have to avoid the broadcast and network ID. So other than broadcast and network ID, I'm giving complete range. Okay. So 10 series, entire 10 series private IP address. So even when I'm telling an examples in a class A range, I told about a 10 series. Why? Because of 10 series is from class A, it is a completely private IP address. Okay. 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. Okay. This is also entire private IP address. Some people confuse here because it is 172 and 16 1 2 172 17 3 10. So both are private IP addresses only, but different networks. Like this 16, 17, 18, 19 up to 31. 16 to 31 are private IP, but different networks. Same way 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. Of course, Class C, 3 network versions, but 192.168.0.11, 192.168.1.12. Both are Class C, both are Class C, both are private IP addresses. Both are private IP addresses, but both are not in a same network because of there is some change in the network version. Okay, guys, understand what are the private IP addresses and what are the public. Other than these private IP addresses, all remaining except APIPA address, all remaining IP addresses, except 0.0.0 series, 127 series, 169.254 series, remaining all are public IP address only. How can you know what is your public IP? Guys, when you check your IP address, how to check IP address? Simply use the command called ipconfig command. So 1 second, I will try to increase the size. somewhat better. IP config. So this is my IP address, my subnet mask, my default gateway. I'm in home, my IP address is different. Okay, so this is my IP address. And it is a private IP. But I'm getting internet. I'm getting internet. How? Yeah, I have to draw something. Finally, guys, this is my PC, and I'm connected to my Wi-Fi router. Directly, we'll discuss that also. So, Wi-Fi router. Okay, and this Wi-Fi router having a connectivity to the ISP. This ISP make me connected to the internet. So normally we have to use the modem and all these words, but this is our Wi-Fi router, which act like a Wi-Fi access point, router, and modem. Okay, so this is my Wi-Fi. So I am getting internet or a network from here. This is my laptop or a mobile phone, something which we can, my device it is. Okay. Guys, internet is a public network. Internet is a public network. To connect internet, we are connecting through ISP. In local, we have a local area network. This is my complete private network. So this is my private network. The mouse column also there. This is my private network where I use all my private IP address. While I'm communicating outside, when I'm communicating outside, I should communicate with the public IP address. I have to communicate with the public IP address. Communicate in a public, you need to communicate with the public IP address. Okay, so this is our home part. In really, there is a different parties also there. I will try to explain in a 5 minutes. So 5-10 minutes is enough to close the class for today, guys. Please listen carefully and be active. Guys, this is the already we discussed few things earlier. Same discussion with little additional points. What is intranet? Intranet is your private network. Intranet is your private network. Intranet is your private network. Look at here. This is a server, and this is server A. Is a nothing but some web server, and this is my mail server. I'm a PC1. Okay. What is intranet? In a private, to communicate from one device to another device, you don't require any internet connectivity. Just you need a IP address to communicate. Which IP address you have to use? You are in a private IP address is enough. Private IP address is enough. Someone in the internet want to access your server. Someone in the internet want to access your mail server. So you want to make them to access. What is required? You have to connect to internet through ISP. Of course, without a particular service provider, we can't connect. Okay. Someone in network, internet, want to access your mail server or a web server You must connect it to internet, and you must assign a public IP address. So you should get access from public, means you should have a public. You want to access public network, you should have a public IP address. Understand, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, got it, sir.
Okay. Now, I don't want to put a public IP on my server. So what I will do, I follow a technique. I'll follow a technique. This is my router. I configure like this, called a NAT configuration. NAT configuration. This PC IP address is a private IP. For example, I put a 192.168.1.25 is a my mail server IP address, and I map this private IP to a public IP. I purchase one public IP address and I map like this. Maybe 102.2.2.3.25, just for our understanding. Okay, and I have another server is there now. So another server is web server. Second one is 192.168.1.80, and this is 202.2.3.80. It's not required to follow like that, so you can put a 27 also. There is a PC. The PC also having a private IP. For example, it is 22 202.3.28. Okay, so I configure in this router, right, a NAT configuration. Devices having their own private IP address, but when they are communicating outside of our network, they will communicate with this one only. Means I am sending a request. I'm sending a request to outside of my network. So I will go to this network. What is it will do? This is a PC22. Okay, PC, and IP address is 1.22, and the IP address will send with this one. Up to here, this IP address. Up to here, this IP address in private. When it is going outside, this IP address. Okay, up to here, this IP address. Outside, when it is going, this IP. Okay, The private IP addresses works in private only, but to communicate outside of private IP network means in the public you want to communicate, you need a public IP. But we cannot directly, we don't want to assign a public IP on the devices directly. And what you can able to do it, we configure NAT, network address translator, network address translator. Next. So here is a guy want to access your web server, right? So our mail server, someone trying to access. So he will send a request to you with this IP address only. So for example, it is he open with this IP 2.3.27. So where request goes up to our organization, in that one, it maps to 180. So it go to this one. Yeah, this mouse or something, my eyes, brightness. I can't able to see what I. See. So this is request came with this IP address. It is translated into this IP address, and it goes directly to this one. So yeah, like this. Okay. So when you are communicating, so it's a one-to-one communication, guys. It is a kind of one-to-one communication. So what is NAT? Yeah, tell me. Network address translation to communicate outside of your private network means your network means to public network. Your device you should connected to public means internet. Okay, internet and assigned with a public IP address. So, instead of that one, so instead of that, public and private, instead of that, private IP is different. So instead of that one, um, instead of that, okay, we use instead of that, not that instead of assign IP addresses to We understand the matter, so leave it. Okay. What is NAT? Network Address Translation. NAT maps your private IP address to public IP address. Okay? Something like it is a web server, a mail server. This is PCA and PCB. Okay, so each PC have their own IP address, guys. So, for example, so taking too much stress on this one, so I am unable to explain properly. And from your side, it is completely silence. See,
No,
and this. Okay. So what I am trying to say is, so I want to put a one NAT table here. NAT table here. So what will happen in the NAT? So we have a private IP addresses. For example, take a 10.0.0.11 because the small number is better to write. Okay, in public. So I am it's going with a okay. So it maps like this. So I purchase some number of IP addresses and assign map to a each and every. For example, APC one private IP, one BPC one private IP. When they want to communicate to outside of the network, or they should communicate from outside to inside of the network. Okay. For example, a user in public. Okay. Here is some user in the public want to access your web server. So what he will do? He'll put a IP address like this. So in browser, he will put a 12 dot, for example, 34.44.4 in the web browser. Okay. he'll put this one. Send a request with this. So request goes up to here, and it is translated into 10.0.0.12, which is our website. Which is our website. Okay, so this is how it is goes. So where it maps, then request go to okay guys, so this is what I'm trying to say. NAT, network address translation. It is 1-to-1 type. Means you have a one private, means you need a one public IP address. You have 10 private IP addresses, then you need a 10 public IP addresses. Okay. This is about your NAT kind of stuff. Then what is this? Another part. Guys, in our home, we have lot of devices. In our home or office, lot of devices. So we have lot of devices. So lot of private IP addresses means we need lot of public IP addresses. Public IP addresses are paid one, guys.
Excuse me,
Public
sir.
IP, yeah. Tell me.
Sir, like for public routers, like the where the domain changes, like if the for each every routers the IP address changes or it remains the same.
In public,
I mean, like for the routers, there are like in that NAT, right, sir?
yeah.
That's where your systems, like your networks, IP address changes to public.
Your system IP as earlier, what are the IP address is like that, same IP address only. But when they are communicating outside or someone is trying to communicate to you, they'll go with the public IP address only. Just
Yeah,
simply say in your home, you have a nickname, right?
yeah.
In that nickname, people will call you. But in a public, you can't say your nickname, right? You will say your public IP address.
Uh, so like if I connect to any network like that, it will remain the same, right, sir? It will not
Right.
change.
For example, I send a request to google.com. I open a Gmail page. So my private is my private only. It does not known by any person outside of my network. Okay. So when it is sending, it send with some public IP address. Okay.
Okay, so when they want to mail to you, so it will remain the same if you connect to different network.
Yeah, very good. For example, this guy want to come send a packet to you. has to send with your public IP only. In NAT, it has to send with your public IP. Once you got reach up to here, then again it is translated into private, and with the private you will receive.
Okay.
Okay. So now the doubts will be changes after this one. Okay. So guys, you
Yes, sir.
have a lot of devices. For example, currently I am in home. I have a laptop. I have a mobile phone. I have a computer. I have my sister having another laptop. There are two mobile phones, and there is a TV, and there is another laptop. Another mobile phone is also there. So many devices, right? So I have to buy so many public IP addresses. Each device each device having their own private, but when to communicate outside, you need a public IP address. But 10 private IP addresses I have, then I need a 10 public IP addresses. That means I need a lot of IP addresses to buy it. Then new technology came up that is called a PAT. PAT is nothing but a NAT only, guys, only small difference. Port address translation. Is also called as NAT overload. NAT is one-to-one type, okay? But PAT is it's overloading on a one single public type. Means you have a 10 private IP addresses, for example, you can communicate with a one or a two or a three public IP addresses. Exactly same. It's not one-to-one type. It's a multiple private to single I address. So you have a 10 private IP addresses, still you can communicate with the public IP address only. Yeah, don't worry. It's the same kind of stuff, but little changes. Few things I put a C, I put a D. So in our home, so generally we don't worry about a servers. Even a servers also here nothing is accessed from outside. From outside access is not there. To outside access is there. Guys, here it is now pattern. This is APC, BPC, TCPC, DPC. So how these pattern translations are there? How these pattern translations are there? So it assign a dynamic port number when it is sending. Okay. So for example, this is a port number, and it mapped to a public. One public, I said one public. Okay. Public IP address is one, but private IP addresses can be different. Public IP address is always same, private IP address is different. But how it will maps using a port technique. Using a port technique. By these transactions, you can understand so how it is works. Can you see? This is a port address translations. Multiple private IP addresses, and we have a single public IP. How it will recognize? So it will recognize like that. Okay, look at here guys. For example, I want to connect this google.com, facebook.com or youtube.com from APC. APC to here and up to here we reach. APC, for example, this is an IP address and it will translate into this IP. It is mapped to this and send with this IP address to outside. Okay, so it reaches the destination. It reaches the destination with this public IP address only. And destination received your request and give a response. Will reach up to here with this IP address. Again, it is reverse translation. It will happen again. Then the packet is forward to ABC. Guys, these numbers store in the ISP level, not in our router actually. In ISP level only, they manage this one. Okay, so nowadays we are all using my private IP same, your private IP address is also the same, but still we are all connected to internet and we are accessing through the internet without purchasing any specific public IP address. But you are paying for it. How? ISP. ISP maintain your public IP addresses. Using this port mapping technique, it is more unique. Guys, you can access anything in the internet, right? You can open google.com, facebook.com, youtube.com. You are sending a request and you are getting a reply. It is a one-way type of direction, guys. You are request and you will get it. If you request only, you will get it. If something like a Google thing, it want to give you a packet to you without your any request. You didn't ask anything. But Google knows your public IP. It want to give some packet to you. It cannot because Google knows your private public IP is 12.34.44.3. With that IP address, how many are there here? 4 devices with the same public IP address. 4 devices with the same public IP address. Understand? To whom it will give?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's a little apart, but understand NAT and PAT guys and public and private IP addresses. What is NAT? Network address translation. PAT, port address translation. Both the techniques are used to communicate from private to public, generally inside to outside communication only. Okay, so NAT where we are using direct servers and those servers can accessed by public. So then they use a NAT technique, means compulsory need a public IP address. PAT, port address translation. So multiple users, multiple devices want to access public, not by public to public, means port address translation. So the diagram which is I've done here in our office. Okay, so this is what we are using, port address translation. Okay guys, this is it about your network. So of course I try to cover mostly about a networking troubleshooting today, but it didn't done. But Monday I will start a new topic. Okay, so when we got a time in a troubleshooting time, so both networking troubleshooting also will do. But read all these things about networking, and also I shared some YouTube videos. That is a power set animation, guys. Small videos. So any doubts, please try to get it from it and note down and practice how to tell an answer for any question regarding what you have studied. Yeah, tell me. Nothing? Okay.